dreaming a new horizon and a day it all came true. Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Home sweet home, oh home sweet home, home sweet home.
You're tuned to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. And one of my good friends, Amanda Light, she's my coach. She's an extraordinary human being. And Amanda, we were just talking about how you got into the business. I mean, you said something very, very inspirational, I guess. You said that you have always been good at helping people. And I think real estate is fundamentally a business where that's what we do for a job, right? I mean, that ultimately we're either helping people sell or helping people buy. We're counseling them on some of the biggest decisions in their life. And so coming from that place of contribution, especially now with what's going on in our world, I mean, people that really care about people and they're looking at something that they can do, anybody can do. And there's a lot of levels in real estate, and we can get into that. But you came from a place of contribution, and you thought just instantly, I need to make money, and I have other goals, so I'm going to start out doing this because I'm going to be good at it because I'm driven. And then tell what happened next. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, so you go through real estate school, and you learn that you they don't actually teach you to sell houses, right? You just learn the legalese.
Get the license to make money. That's about it.
Real estate license, right? So I had a company that was really good at training, and they poured into me, and I did not know what I didn't know, and I didn't have any limiting beliefs that, you know, some people in the business carry. And I remember my first listing, I just did what I was told, and it worked. I mean, honestly, I just followed what my coach, what my mentor was telling me to do, and miraculously worked. And I was in an area, Williamsburg, Virginia, is very old money, very networked. And so here I am, this young whippersnapper trying to make my way in a very well-networked kind of old-school world. And my first listing appointment that I got, my first seller that I was working with, I remember coming in, I was so excited. I have a high level of energy now. At 18, it was ridiculous, off the charts, like doing cartwheels down the hallway. And I go in to tell my manager that I've got my first listing appointment, and it's at 7 o'clock tonight. And she said, when is it? I said, it's tonight. And she said, you can't go on that listing appointment. I said, what? What do you mean I can't go on my listing appointment? And she said, I can't send a moron on a listing appointment.
Just like that.
And that was probably the first time that I was at the wrong company.
Wow.
Because, and and my back was kind of against the wall, and I just said, send somebody with me if you'd like. I intend to go. I'm not going to cancel my very first appointment. So, and I had done a lot of studying, right? I recognize that to be 18 years old, not everybody would take me seriously unless I took myself seriously enough to show up as a professional. So I really leaned into all the training. And I took that first listing, and the experienced agent that showed up said, how did you do that? And I said, I can show you, or you can just go back to the training class. And so, the point of me saying that is, if you're not in real estate, if you are in real estate, get serious about your job, especially right now. And if you're not in real estate, then it's always a good time to get in real estate if you're willing to show up, keep your heart in the right place, and learn. If you're learning based, you can do it. And when I didn't know, I just said, I don't know, but let me get you an answer. And I always made sure that I had the right answer, the best answer, not just a shoot from the hip guess. And I got a reputation for just working hard for people, and my referral based business really grew. And by the end of my first year, I'd made over $100,000. And
at 18.
At that point, it was kind of like,
18 years old.
why go to medical school? This is fun. I was Rookie of the Year, and again, that was just a byproduct of it. Kind of snuck up on me, if I'm being honest. because I was just helping people and enjoying it.
Yeah, well, it's funny that now with Keller Williams, and you're primarily a Keller Williams coach, although you do coach businesses, other businesses in different industries. And there's a lot of similarities to success. I mean, they say success leaves clues. And what's funny is real estate if you follow that system, if you follow that model, and Keller Williams is what we call a systems and models company, it really is not, to use a cliche, it is not rocket science, right? It's simply doing the right things in the right order and being integrity-based and authentic. And I think sometimes in sales we get a bad rap because there are people, like in any industry, that are out there for the quick buck and are trying to be sales people and not, people coming from that place of contribution that have a good work ethic and follow a good system. And to me, at 19 years old, you must have done something fairly consistent, but it wasn't probably flashy, was it? It was simply doing the work.
That's right. And I think the kind of the attitude, and this is one of the reasons why I was so attracted to Keller Williams. There was no Keller Williams around in my market at the time that I got into real estate. That would have been an obvious choice even back then, because Keller Williams has been named number one training organization in the world across all industries many times, right? But that didn't exist in my market, so I didn't know. I knew the big local firm, and that's where I started. And one of the things that really attracted me to Keller Williams was I was invited as a guest to an event, just a training event. And at that point, now fast forward a lot here, I spent a long time at that company, like 8.5 years, and I went out and opened my own boutique brokerage, mostly because I was paying my company so much money.
Right.
And I was kind of at the height, like they weren't really teaching me anymore. I really had a sphere-based business. People don't choose their agent based on the company, so that wasn't that important. People chose me because I had a reputation for doing a good job for people, right? So it didn't matter what my affiliation was, and I kind of just thought I can save a lot of money. I knew nothing about business,
Right.
But I thought I can save a lot of money, go do my own thing, serve more people, why not? So I went out and did my own thing, and then the market shifted, and owning my own company was kind of for the birds. I was spending a lot of my time in management, in brokerage issues, like making sure that I was keeping my agents out of trouble. And I just wasn't at the heart of what I like to do, which was support the client.
It's funny. I started at 19 too, right? Not to interrupt you, but I just wanted to, I found that, I owned my own independent companies for a long time. And I found that eventually it just, became exhausting. I mean, just to reinvent the wheel every day. Everything was gunslinging and winging it. And, I had that ambition and enthusiasm as well. But at some point you look up and you're like, wow, I have to find these solutions to these problems. And when you realize that you're not alone and there's other people that have done it before you. And in Keller Williams, we like to say that we build our businesses on the shoulders of giants. And even when I started in Keller Williams, it didn't make a lot of sense to me because I didn't really have the exposure. But what I did know is that I was tired. And I did know that, wow, that tech is changing. And if there's a lot of smart people out there. And until I got into Keller Williams, honestly, I didn't realize how many smart people there are out there and how much more efficient they are than I am. And so to me, talking about learning based, I think that's what the largest franchise in real estate in the world is all about. I mean, you can just look around and if you have a question, you go, hey, well, I say, hey, Amanda, but a lot of other people might say, hey, look at somebody else, and they're there for you, right? I mean, that's the cool thing.
It's a collaboration, right? It's the willingness to share and to understand that together everybody's going to achieve more. So if I share with you what I'm doing and what's working with me, and you share what you're doing that's working with you, I take the best of what you're doing and the best of what I'm doing, and you do the same. Now we're both playing at a higher level. And there's enough mediocrity in our industry that, like, you could share everything that you're doing, and maybe 10% will go do it. There's no need to keep a secret.
No,
in fact, if you show up with abundance, you get abundance back. In my experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you found that having that abundance mindset versus that scarcity mindset, which, when you're young and it sounds like you were raised in a way that it kind of came natural, but a lot of people get into the world of business and they think, for me to be successful, you have to lose. And it takes a long time. I mean, I was kind of like that. I grew up and I'm like, hey, man, I'm a natural born killer. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to put you out of business, right? Just not from an evil perspective, but more of a competitive athlete, kind of athletic perspective, is how I was kind of looking at real estate as almost like a sports game. But in reality, when you come from contribution, you're just, you're authentic, and people are, I agree with you. I find that it comes back tenfold, just even if you have no idea how it's going to come back when you're giving, right?
Yeah. I'm competitive. I think some people have accused me at times of being too competitive. I don't even know what that means, honestly.
I know.
However, I will say I'll share with you everything that I'm doing, and come on, let's go. You can beat me, and you better be running fast, right? So I want us to both win, and if we're both trying to be the best that we can be, we both win, no matter who's at the top of the scoreboard. And I'm not going to lie, I like to be at the top of the scoreboard.
I mean, this is great that your story, we haven't even really got into it. I mean, I could talk to you for hours and hours, which I tend to do, and hopefully I don't bother you all the time when I'm calling you. Right now, I'm always looking for change, right? I'm always looking for, what's working. And a guy told me once with Keller Williams, he said I was dumb enough to do what they told me to do, and I was smart enough to keep doing it. And it's not, it's easier to say than do, right? I mean, we all have creativity, but when we come back, I was wondering, as we dove into your story and you started getting success, one of the things that Keller Williams also does is it provides a lot of avenues. Like I said, you're a MAPS coach now, which is a professional business coach for mainly real estate brokers, but other businesses as well. And you have about 75 clients. You have an amazing career, and you could do just about anything you want. And Keller Williams is kind of a company that allows you to do that. So maybe we could talk about some of the diversification that is available to you that you took advantage of that others might be interested in, if you don't mind. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes with Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan.
Home sweet home. Thanks, Keller Williams. I love my dream home.